Hello, everyone. My name is Corey Sanchez-Smith. I am the owner of Heart Shift Consulting, where we cultivate choice-filled lives through heart work. Thank you for joining us. I hope you'll enjoy this SEL mini and that you'll consider subscribing to our channel. We have so many more great things to show you, and I want to make sure you get them right away. All right. Today's topic is teacher self-care. I must be honest, this is the #1 requested topic for our company when we work with schools and districts. And I really struggle with this one because I know for a fact that there are teachers looking at me in the audience, from the audience saying, yeah, don't even give me one more thing, right? Like, my self-care would be much more positive and in place if the district expectations or the pandemic or all of the things that are outside of my control were handled. And I didn't have to deal with so much more on my plate. So it's always hard for me to stand in front of people that are working to their fullest and suggest anything, really, when they are already doing so much. So let me just start by giving my perspective. We will all remember March 2020, like forever. For the rest of our lives, we'll remember that time period. For me, it stands out a little bit more significantly. So the beginning of March was also the beginning of my radiation treatment. So Monday, I remember, was my very first day of actually being in the machine to receive treatment for breast cancer. And I already was struggling with just having cancer. And I'm also very claustrophobic. So being in the machine itself was anxiety provoking, to say the least. Later that week, the nation shut down. That Thursday, my son was sent home, and he did not go back until the following year. So I had a child that was schooling from home. I had uncertainty around my own job. I was going through daily radiation treatment. And that Saturday afterwards, my father passed. So it was back-to-back events that felt completely out of control. I didn't have a sense of where I fit in or what I could do. And so when I talk about teacher self-care, I'm not talking about one more thing. I'm talking about sometimes the only thing that you can control and do something about. At least that's what it was like for me. When everything else felt completely out of reach in my life, I needed to take care of myself. And so with that perspective, I want to bring you 4 things that I recommend and suggest for teachers everywhere. All right, #1, find your love language. All right, this book, 5 Love Languages. It was recommended to me when I was engaged to be married and was very helpful in terms of us growing together as a couple. In fact, it's a book for relationships. It's for personal relationships. And it is based in the Christian faith, but there's lots of it in there that's really applicable to people of all faiths. I bring it up because it is really important that you know how you feel supported and loved at work. I have sat at the counter or at the table with administrators, including myself as an administrator, with really great plans to show the teachers how much we loved and supported them. So we came up with like themed days and personalized t-shirts and coffee carts and donuts. And we had all of these things planned for the year, really purposely to make sure that teachers felt loved. And without fail, there was always a crash and burn in our implementation. There was always a group of teachers that were like, really? Donuts? Because we weren't speaking their language. So when you know whether you are words of affirmation, if you are gifts, if you are quality time, and if you are in a safe, nurturing relationship with your administration, you can actually go to them and say, hey, I know you mean well with the popcorn, but my love language is quality time. so I really need to be able to sit down and spend time with you, or I need a social hour with my teammates, or I need just time to get to know the people in this building that aren't on my team, that I don't see very often. And then I'll feel loved and supported because I'll feel part of the community. So knowing your love language will help you advocate for ways that you can feel connected at work. And if you're an administrator watching this, please consider asking your staff and faculty what their love language is so you can build out supports that feel really meaningful to them. Okay, number 2. Complete a self-assessment. I have 2 references today, but really there are a number of ways that you can check in to see how you're doing. The first one is called the Wheel of Life or the Circle of Life. It's probably the quickest way to kind of assess all the different parts of your life that may be in or out of balance. So I will put a link into the body of this video that provides you with a PDF that you could just download. And really you rate yourself from 1 to 10, 10 being the most fulfilled in a variety of areas. And there are a lot of different versions. So if this version and these questions or these areas don't really resonate with you, please just search for another one, because there are different things that are asked for on different wheels. So when you look at your life in its totality and its wholeness, you can see that you have some really, really, really great things going on, and then maybe some areas that need some more support. The second resource I want to suggest, and again, I'll put a link in the body of the video, is to look at the 8 dimensions of wellness. That we talk about occupational wellness and physical wellness and financial wellness and social wellness. And when you really dig into this research, you'll start to ask some questions about how fulfilled you are in different parts of your life. And these questions and this assessment is really important because you want to make sure the support matches the need, right? So if you are concerned about your financial wellness, you don't need to take a yoga class. Like they don't go together. That's not what you need. You need a financial planner. You need someone to talk to. So being able to assess will allow you to ask for what you need. I do want to challenge you to look at your life assessment from a position of strength. Instead of honing in on the areas where you feel the most vulnerable or that have the most need, start by looking at the places where you're having a lot of success and then work backwards. Like, what is working here? What am I doing? What am I committing to? What am I trying in this area of my life that is applicable to other areas of my life? So really start from a place of strength and move from there. All right, third one. Plan before, during, after, ongoing. A lot of times we talk about self-care in a global sense, and we recommend practices that help in terms of just developing as a person, and that's very important. But this particular point of view asks you to look at skills and support in 4 different areas. So the first is before. If you know you're going into a stressful environment, whether that's an interview, a presentation, a family reunion, whatever it is that you know is anxiety provoking, that you adopt a stress reliever technique for before. That could be belly breaths, that could be journaling, it could be talking it out, it could be whatever works for you. But identify what you will use specifically before a stress-inducing event. The next is during. So this would be something that you can pull out when you are either in an event that you knew would be stressful, or you can pull it out when you're surprised and stressed in the moment. So this is another technique that you know will help you get through something while you're in it. That will help regulate your breathing, help clear your mind, help you detach a little bit from your heart racing and the feelings that you're having about the event. So consider this something that you pull out of your pocket that you can do in the moment. Breathing's always a good one. Deep belly breaths or counting down. Okay, the next one, after. Find an opportunity or a strategy that you can implement after a stressful event. Whether that's journaling, talking it out, taking some mindful breaths, just a minute to yourself. allow you to decompress and learn from what you just went through. Give yourself time to get back to your normal rhythm and routine, to get your brain back into its healthiest state. Make sure you have a strategy for calming down after you've experienced something that is stressful. And the last one is ongoing. What ongoing commitment will you make to your own self-care? Something that will just help you with your overall sense of wellness, whether that's a commitment to long walks, tennis, yoga, anything that you can commit to. Oh, an app that helps you with mindful practice, anything that you can do, knitting, sewing, that will help you calm and regulate and is part of your loving and caring for yourself. Strategy number 4, mindfulness. I've brought it up in several examples. I can't ignore it. There's just too much research behind it, especially with teachers. And I will include a link in the body of this video to the research around the impact of mindful practice with the teaching profession. That we know teachers who have ongoing commitment to mindfulness, whatever form that is, whether that's Zen meditation or breathing techniques or body scans, whatever that means, an app or not, a class, whatever, that teachers report being more centered and grounded, being able to handle the stress of the job better, actually being able to teach more efficiently because they're in the mind space to do their best work. So there is nothing but great things that will come from a commitment to mindful practice and taking care of yourself on a regular basis. Okay, that's it. 4 suggestions for teacher self-care. I hope you will adopt one or all for yourself. Be sure to come back and put in the comments what you've tried, what worked, what you'll do differently next time. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks.